Howdy folks, welcome back to the shed. Am I a bit twisted? Yes I am. Let's just fix that way a bit. That looks about perpendicular. Yep, that's good. Hello Robert, nice to see you. How the devil are you? Yes, the arrivals. Right, as you can see, let me tilt you down a bit. There we go. You should see in the background there, that's the Royal Train. Picture looks okay, yeah? How about the sound? Okie dokie. And on top of that, just there, that's the Longmoor Military Railway. Sounds good. Okay, thanks, Robert. Yep. That little one there, little tank engine, I think it's a dock, USRA dock tank engine. It's the Longmoor Military Railway. And the other one, we've got the Britannia, Royal Train Britannia pulling the Royal Train, which consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 coaches. And that's the full Royal Train, plus a little hello Mike, nice to see you, plus a little one on the end, which is a backman, actually, the Spanish Inquisition. What if you even got to put it in the formation I set it up for? Oh well, yeah. Well, I couldn't do that because to do that I'd have to run it on the outside track, and the Britannia was pointing in the wrong direction. And I just couldn't be bothered to pick it up, turn it around, and put it the right way around. So never mind. Was something happening this weekend with the Royals? Yeah, good question. Yeah, I wonder what that could have been. I thought it was okay, actually. Didn't sort of drag on too long. But the only disappointment was the fly pass, which was pants. In fact, the best thing about it was the Chinook helicopters. So, the cloud base is too low for them to fly. These are RAF pilots, supposedly the best in the world. Come on. Even if they run them through one at a time, it's not rocket science, is it? Anyway, that's done and dusted now. My beverage of choice this morning is a coffee, and if you have a look on the side there, you'll see the little crown. That is actually a pint of coffee. Well, I didn't want to go dry because I'm up the shed and I can't just nip downstairs and put the kettle on. Hello, Anthony. How lovely to see you. Mr. Dodge, the model train outsider, the Märklin outsider. You could have said that you were an insider, actually, but never mind. Anyway, I'm definitely an outsider. Oh dear, there's a bee in here. Never mind. Hello, Ian. Nice to see you. See, we've got Robert in here as well. Safety, safety, safety. Yeah. Oh, cheers, everybody. Something moved then. Yes, for those that have just joined us, I've got the Royal Train running today, which you'll see coming around on the inside track on this one over here. It's not in the formation that Richard put it in because it was pointing the wrong way. So you've got the Britannia on the front of it, engine number 70,000, and the Royal Train consisting of sleeping cars, day car, that's car baggage, buffet, or I suppose kitchen, and a full baggage on the end, which is a backman. Hey, Charlie, how are you? A flask of coffee, yeah. Yeah. I wasn't thought of having an optic on the wall or one of those coffee making machines. But really, you'd need proper milk because I can't have that coffee mate stuff. Right, disgusting. Got plastic coffee. Good, glad to hear it. Nice to see you, Chaz. Yes, and on the other side, where is it? It's coming around now. It may well be photobombed, but we'll see. Coming up, hurry up, Brit. The Britannia's the only one that's got the sound in. You dumped some deep tea down the kitchen sink in honour of Charles' coronation. I hope that wasn't inappropriate. No, not at all. Not at all. Every little helps. The only thing I was moaning about, Anthony, was there it is. That's the Longmoor Military Railway. It's a USRA dock tank. The only thing I was moaning about with the coronation was the fact that the fly past was just so pants. It was a bunch of helicopters and the Red Arrows. And if you're meaning to tell me that the finest, supposedly the finest pilots in the world can't fly at 500 feet in formation, come on. So, yeah, safety, safety, safety. Yeah, but it was pants. So I'm amazed that the Royal Air Force can actually muster more than a few aircraft together. Yes, have a tea party. Here's another one. Cheers, guys. That's an imperial pint, by the way, of coffee. You're right, Mike. We haven't got much of a Royal Air Force left. The Royal bit, yeah, that's still continuing, but the Air Force bit, no. Right. Let's see if I'll see if I can get you closer to the action, and you'll be able to see this little Longmoor Military Railway machine. Here we go. Sorry about the vomit cam. Here's a couple of more Longmoor Military Railway jobbies. Both tanky type machines. And of course my wonderful cop loper. That's what the cop loper looks like. It's Dutch and it's what?
If you keep running it like that, you're going to give me a brain hemorrhage.
Oh, right. Okay, do you want me to stop it and you can...
Yes.
Right. Okay. I've got Ricardo's interferences. So I'm going to stop the train and it's going to be set in its proper perspective. Round the board. 7,000. Tell me when you want it to stop.
Right, stop it here. Got your own coupler.
One other coupler. Do you want me to stop Longmoor for a minute?
Yeah, it'd be good for shunting. Okay.
That one hasn't got DCC sound in it. That's just me making the funny noises. Hello,
Right.
Gary at Leicester Station TMD.
Switch 1.
No planes, no ships, no tanks. Yeah, that sounds about right. We could probably send all 30 of them to Ukraine. So that probably wouldn't do much good. It'll only be target practice for the Russian Air Force, Navy, Army. Go ahead.
Switch 1.
Switch 1. Here we go. Right. Oh. Right. What I'll do, I'll turn things around a bit so you can see the action and all the twiddling and stuff that goes on.
For the sake of things, there we go. Right.
There we go. Say hello, Richard. Hello,
Switch
Richard.
1. Ahoy. Switch 1.
Switch 1. Go.
Switch 1 again.
Switch 1 again. Yeah, what you've got here is a classic case of OCD.
Yes.
So for Mr. Dodge, if you think you're OCD, you are not alone. Switch one.
Yep. And switch one. Switch one. Okay, pull Brit forward.
Pull Brit forward. Takes a while for it to kick in, doesn't it? Hey up, Timber Surf. How nice of you to join us. We're just having a little rearrange of the consist. The hand of God is nigh. Yes. You're right. You're right.
Okay, that'll do it. Switch one.
Switch one. Hello. There's the little one joined us as well.
She's come snooping.
Yeah, it's just come for a snoop. Hang about. Yeah. There she is. Blondie! Blondie! Blonde! I'm in here. Hey, there she is. There she comes. Yeah, have a sniff.
Come snooping. Right. Switch one.
Switch one.
And you're good.
There's a set of taps down there that she really likes. I think it's the lime scale that she really goes for, or it's something hard to get her little tiny teeth into, which are like razors. Hey! No, 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 no. Yeah. Right on. Okay.
Right.
Are we ready? All set?
Yep.
Okay. Direction's good. I'll set that at 40. And let's just plonk the camera around that way. Trying to do 10 things at once. There we go, that's not bad. Right, I'll set the Longmore Military Railway, I don't know what it's called, USRA tank off now. And we'll get that going. Ready, steady, go. And here she comes. Going a little bit fast. I'll just slow it down a little bit. That's more like it. Hello, Dino. Nice to see you. Sorry, I got a bit distracted by little Blondie coming thick and fast. Whee! Battle of Britain Memorial Flyer won't fly unless it's perfect conditions. I guess the rest is keeping an eye on the Russians. Yeah, right. Yeah, all 10 of them. Gary says, my daughter Ellie likes your puppy. Yeah, she's adorable. We've got some of the relatives coming over today to get chewed by her. I'll show you my arm later because her little claws, because she hasn't been going out on the pavement and getting them worn down a bit, they're like razors. So my arms are shot to crap at the moment, I'm afraid. Quick question. Have got electric decals to make the Royal Train. Is the grey on the roof the same as the bogies?
I believe it probably is in this case because it's the colour of the plastic.
So, do you really think so? Do you think so?
In this case, I think it is because it's just the plastic. In real life, I don't know because I've never seen the bloody thing. It's that elusive.
Let's see. Where did that come from? That's Mike. Okay, Mike. Looking at it from here, I'd say yes. But this is under artificial light. Wait until it gets around to where you are and see what you think. If anything, I'd say the plastic underneath, because it's just the plastic colour, there's no paint on it. I think they've used a slightly lighter colour on the top than they have underneath. Would you concur?
Yeah.
Have a look when it comes around. Here comes the USRA dock tank, which I'll slow down a bit so you can see it. Hey, with its little white wall wheels.
I doubt she will, but I'll see if I get back to sleep.
Righty ho. There's your Britannia. Followed by the Bachmann. I don't know what that is. It looks like a full brake, but possibly isn't. And the rest of the train. Yeah, it doesn't. The colour difference doesn't look so much in real life, but I'd say there definitely is a difference between the grey underneath and the grey on the top. Yeah, it does look a bit lighter on the roof. No probs. Yeah, it's subtle, but it definitely looks darker. I mean, I could do a direct comparison by pulling two of the coaches off and comparing the roof to the floor pan beside each other. Mr. Dodge, I just saw that Robert will write an affirmative reply soon. I'm taking an hour or more this morning to catch up with the world of Hangout. Randy in the middle of a major DIY project. Oh, super. Okay. Oh, that's great. Yeah, it'll be nice to clash heads, as they say. How many carriages used to run on the Royal train usually? I think this is about it. It's 9 or 10 coaches. Because I think Hornby tried to do the full rake. And that's really what you get. So I've probably got +1, which I think is 10 coaches. I'm glad to see your shoulders getting better, Robert. These things really do slow you down. You only have to pull a muscle off the bone or turn awkwardly. Yeah, that's really good. Well kitted out for the change of weathers. Well, not really. I haven't put any insulation in or anything like that. Because I don't keep the hardware up here in the shed. Once I've done everything, it goes back in its boxes and it goes back into the house. Because insurance companies and things like that are very picky about things left in sheds. And yeah, I've put all kinds of. I've got hinge traps on it, and I've got a decent lock on the door. But if somebody's determined to get in, they'll get in. So yeah, anything like a valuable locomotive, like a 500-pound locomotive, that comes out of the shed when I do. So I know it's a bind, but there you go. You've just got to keep a sense of proprietary. Otherwise, things can go horribly wrong, horribly fast. And then when all the shouting and hollering starts with insurance companies, oh, well, you didn't do this and you didn't do that and you shouldn't have left this in your shed and you shouldn't have done this. Yeah, right. It's easy to be wise after the event, so I'm trying to be wise before the event. yes, it is a pain, but it's worth the pain. Let's put it that way, Dino. So you just have to steel yourself and just say, well, do I care about this stuff or don't I? Yeah, you're right, Robert. You get extremes of temperature and heat and humidity and things. Anything metal will rust. So it depends if you want to. See, I don't mind my tools going a bit rusty. I just oil them occasionally and they're fine in the shed. But when it comes to little bits of precision engineering like train sets and model railways and stuff, not so easy. But I noticed it is getting warmer because some of the wrinkles are starting to come out of the back seam. Humidity in here at the moment is 70% because, well, it was raining overnight, so it's bound to be a bit damp. No, I'm afraid the death rays are out of the question anymore. No. You'd be in the clink so fast that your feet wouldn't touch the floor. Overall size of my layout is roughly 12 by 8. So the way you're looking along from where you are, that's about 6 foot down to the far end. And behind you, another 6 foot. And then across ways from, as you're looking at it, where the blind is, across to the other side is roughly 8 foot. It's about 4 inches less width and length. So it's 11 foot 8 by 7 foot 8. That's your usable space. Yeah, that's one difficulty of doing it in the house. And if you've got trains running and you're doing a late night stint like Alan Reynolds, then if you've got lodgers or people trying to sleep below you, you're going to get over your head. And if you've got DCC sound like this, that's going to be even worse. The neighbours would hear that. So I'm off down the shed here. I can make as much noise as I want. It's sufficiently far away from the house, so I'm away from life itself, really. It's a little, it's like a little Valhalla. Yeah, it's a good size. Obviously, I'd love one to cover the whole garden, but, well, it just can't be done. I've got a little doggy now, and she likes to run around a bit. Yeah, if it suits you, Robert, that's fine. And the whole idea was to have a nice big shed that we could just sort of escape to, and you can shut the door and you're in your own little world. But yeah, that's just one of those things. Right, let me just grab that a second. I'll just put you back on me. There we go. And as many of you know, our brothers in arms, Bernie, is no longer with us. And I'd just like to, here's my little toast to Bernie. It's not cold coffee, that's the real deal. That's the old Jack Daniels. So cheers, Bernie. Yes. Yeah, my little doggy, Richard's little doggy can get in okay, but it's a bit far. It's about there's about a foot drop from the shed to the path. So it's a bit far for her to drive. She sort of looks down at it and thinks, I can't do that. But she's only a pup at the moment and she'll get used to it. Yes, by all means, chaps, hit the like button. That would be very nice. As you'll see, There's the Britannia. Shall I up the speed a little bit? She is sort of labouring somewhat. Oh, I've gone past it. Oh, we've always passed it. There we go. "55 speed steps." That should do her nicely. And coming along behind there, if she clears it okay, you'll see the Longmore Military Railway tank engine. I'll just get myself out of the way. There you go. And strangely enough, when I think we were at Worley last, there was a guy there with a whole load of Longmore Military Railway coaches, and we thought we'd missed the boat. So we snapped them up at the time, and yeah, I mean they're Bachmann coaches, so they're good quality. But they only did I think it was a limited run, and it was only for maybe the Longmore Military Railway itself, and they were snapped up and they were gone. So difficult to get, but there you go. Roger, somebody just saw your message. Very sorry to hear about the hearing loss. Oh. St. Blazing Model World. Hello. How are you, Roger? Nice to see you. And I think I saw John Ricard. Nice to see our Danish brethren in with us. Lovely. Nice to see you, Jean. Four Fingers Anthony. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, though, if it was on their right hand and it just happened to be that one, they'd have to use that as a trigger finger. Would make things easy. Yeah, well, that's good. It's generating a bit of interest. So really, that's what you put it on there to do, and you've got your way. Mark II is for the security usually. There's a Mark II with a generator in it. I think that's possibly what it is, Mike. You can't hardly hear anything. Roger, is this permanent, or is it something they can twiddle with, or is it just a case of really hard earwax? I gather. Hello, James. Nice to see you. I've got the Royal train because it's topical at the moment, and I've also got a little tank engine pulling some Longmore Military Railway coaches. You can look that up on Google. The Longmore Military Railway was, I think it was prevalent around the First World War, Second World War, and then they just abandoned ship, and it's now a type of museum. The latest virus that attacked your chest has left you almost deaf. Oh, right, okay, so it's viral. Okay, so you've obviously got swelling on the inside of your ear. Had COVID. Robert, I don't know if I've had COVID or not. If I've had it, it's been mild enough to not shrug off, but all I've ever had is sort of cold symptoms. I had a few reactions to the jab. I mean, I've had a whole bunch of those. So I don't know. It's very difficult to get a handle on whether I remember I was ill just before COVID came out of China and then went all the way around the world. Just before that happened, I was really ill, bronchial ill, and I was at the school at that time, and the head teacher had the same thing, and she's still got the cough to this day. So I'm thinking maybe that COVID came out before they said it did, and then it hit the headlines and they identified what it was. So that's the trouble. I don't know if I've ever had it. I've never had a COVID test where it showed up with the 2 bars. I've always been clear. But the little test that we do at home where you swab your nose and your throat and then put it in a liquid and put it on the pad and it rises up, gives you a bar across it. That's always been clear. But in the times I've had the more stringent test, I've never showed up with that either. Cough for 6 months after. I'll tell you, I did realise just how much COVID does to you is Mike at Trains Unlimited, Model Railways Unlimited, sorry. He's a train driver. Yeah, the test was horrible to do. Yeah, it was. If you're not heaving, you won't get into the right spot. Or sneezing, because it's so far up your nose, you know, it's tickling your brain. I noticed Mike at Model Railways Unlimited, he had a very bad wheeze where you could tell he was fighting for his breath, really. And that's horrible because you get an extreme form of that and you're on a, I think they call it a CPAP machine, which is a pressure breather. So you don't actually breathe, you have to breathe out and it forces the air into your lungs. And then you have to do the exact opposite than you usually do. Usually we breathe in and just let ourselves relax and the air comes out. But with a pressure breather, it's the opposite. It forces the air into your lungs and you have to concentrate on breathing out. Pilots used to use it in the early days when they went up to really high altitudes, like 60,000 feet or more, and they had to use pressure breathing. If you wanted to stay alive. I can hear some commotion outside. I think Richard's probably doing some gardening. Let me just check that out. No, it's not gardening. What it is, it's a Nerf gun.
I've got a gun.
Yeah. Richard's got a gun.
And it fires tennis balls.
It fires tennis balls for the doggy. But the thing is, the doggy hasn't quite got the hang of bringing it back yet to fire it yet again. So you fire the tennis ball at the doggy and the doggy runs off and tries to hide it because it's mine. She hasn't quite got the hang of the game yet. So you have to go back there and wrench it out of her mouth, put it back in the Nerf gun and fire again. She'll get the hang of it eventually. We've only had her a week, so she's starting to learn the rules. Yes, steroid inhaler for asthma. Yeah, what do they call that? Was that a nebulizer? Is that right, Flymo? Is it a nebulizer? It's like a fine mist that you breathe in. It's a bit like a vape. Doing okay mentally until we're talking to Bernie. Then he left us. Yeah, what a shame. Yeah, I know. It's only when something happens like what happened to Bernie goes on and suddenly we're shocked by our own mortality. And you think, well, how long have I got left in? And am I in a sufficiently good state that I could weather off a heart attack or something like that? Who knows? We just live day to day, and when your number's up, whether you believe in God or not, when somebody taps you on the shoulder and it's your time, it's your time. So let's try not to worry about it too much and be too fatalistic. But there's Mr. Alan Reynolds, a stalwart. Nice to see you. How's your railway coming along I've got the Royal Train running. You should just see it behind us. Yeah, this is Britannia with DCC sound, and the Royal Train on behind. It's 10 coaches. So I've got about 30 foot of track, and this is about 10 foot of train. So it's not really a tail chaser. It's a turbo hailer. CFC ban did away with the aerosols and expansion chambers. You can use a nebulizer though. Got to be in the room yourself though. Okay, a turbo hailer. That all sounds very medical. Oh, anyway, here's my pint of coffee. Cheers, guys. Just incidentally, Roger, can you make out anything I'm saying? Roger, no, it's not Charlestown in Cornwall, I don't think. Chaz talks very much the way I do, and we're from sort of southeast London, around that sort of area. So if I'm any judge, I could be wrong, but yeah, I did think of Charlestown with that shingle beach and is it what's the beacon that you can see at the right around St Austell Bay? It's not Godrevy, that's at Hale, Gwydion. Okay, let's just see. What's the beacon called? Oh, my mind's got a blank. It must be that whiskey I just drunk. I've stumped myself. Oh, dog is in the bushes. Whose turn is it to call? St Abs. No. What it is, it's a sort of lighthouse affair. You can see it from Mevagissey, you can see it from Charlestown, you can see it from Carlisle Bay, you can see it from Porthpeen. It's like if you think of a traditional lighthouse, which has got banded red and white, red and white, red and white all the way up, it's one of those, and it's called a beacon. I just can't think of the name of it. We've got Ivo Van Zon in the house. Hello, Ivo. Nice to see you. I did get your message about the Coploper, and yeah, it's a 3-car set, but I'd still like to get my hands on a 4th car. So if you do see one, I don't mind it running unprototypically. It's just that a 4-car set would fit my platforms oh so much better. Oh, I can't remember the name of the lighthouse in St Austell Bay. It's not Godrevy.
You're lucky I got my phone on me.
Richard's got his phone on him.
St Austell.
Yeah. It's a beacon. It's something head.
Victoria Pierhead.
No.
Gribbin Head.
Gribbin Head. That's what it's called. Gribbin Head. Thank you.
End.
Yeah. It does look round as any old-fashioned lighthouse would look, but it isn't. It's actually square. So it was built on a square rather than a circular lighthouse. And you can see Gribbin Head from anywhere in St Austell Bay. It's a great big promontory that sticks out. You can see it from, I don't think you can see it from Goran Haven, You can see it from Mevagissey. You can see it from Porthpeen. You can see it from Parr. You can see it from Collion Bay and Charlestown. It's just one of those things that's off there in the distance. And as soon as you see it, you think, yeah, I'm here. I've arrived. Gribbin Head. Yeah. I've been looking at that since 1967 when we first went to Cornwall. And yeah, love it. Not so strong then. Can I get my money back? What have you paid for? I've loaded fish from Mevagissey many years back. Oh yes, of course, yeah. Alan being a truck driver. That's another feature. I couldn't go to Cornwall without going to Mevagissey. I know it's a tourist trap, but if you ignore that kind of stuff, apart from the Mevagissey Model Railway, which is there, it's just one of those great places to go. Particularly as they've got a grill bar in Mevagissey, and as it comes off the boat, you can have your fish. You can say, I want that bit there, and they'll grill it up for you and serve it.
I think there's only one place there that does grilled mackerel.
Yeah, there's one place that does grilled mackerel. That was that little
hut.
It's
like not a burger van. Would you call it a fish van?
Yeah, it's like a stall. It's like a stall with a griddle on it, and they will cook you your mackerel then and there, and it couldn't get any fresher than that. And taste, wow. Yeah, love Cornwall. I know we're just mere emmets when we go there, but you know, I've been going there long enough to feel that at least I've got a foot in the door. Yes, Roger. Yeah, you are, mate. Yeah, I know roughly where you are. You're sort of come out of St Austell, go down to where St Catherine's, like Foy, and then hang a left, and you're right up the hill. So yeah, I know where you are. Some Blazy. We have kibbling usually every Friday. Kibbling?
Don't look at me.
That's got to be some kind of fish.
I presume so.
They banned bringing it in by the main entrance, so now we smuggle it in from the parking garage. Is this some kind of fish, Ivo? Kibbling.
One day.
This is probably some. It's fish and quite smelly. Okay. Yeah, no wonder they banned it. Okay. But usually smelly fish is pretty good. It's like smelly cheese for the same reason. The taste is right there. It's Alan out. Bye, Alan. Nice to see you, sir. They banned it by the main entrance. Yeah, I suppose if there's any fish left and it goes in the bin, you're probably going to live with it for the next week.
Okay, great.
You was going to film the Scotsman last week, but you was too ill. Was that down your neck of the woods? Yeah, I've never seen the Scotsman go down, I don't know, Exeter Way or anywhere like that. Can't wait to cook it on the barbecue.
And they turned it on some blazing turntable.
Oh, they went to Parr and they turned it on some blazing turntable. Right, okay.
Yeah, I showed you that photo of that bloody crowd at Tinmouth.
Okay.
On the seawall.
Yeah, but I didn't know it went as far as Cornwall. I'd never seen the Flying Scotsman in Cornwall.
Turned it on some blazing turntable.
Wow. So it's really doing a UK tour. Where was that? Were we at Par when there was a
Duchess of Sutherland.
Duchess of Sutherland?
Yeah, but St Blaise turntable wasn't in use. They turned it at Plymouth on the
Right.
triangle.
So I turned it a Plymouth Triangle. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's just a shame that you couldn't get there. But if you're ill, you're ill. There's no point getting there and suffering. There's footage on YouTube. Oh, okay. I'll take a look. I did drive the 23023 and an Acts 1200 to Harlem last week. So every time I see the word Harlem, I think of New York. But yeah, I know it's got Dutch connotations. Is that all right? Rich? All right?
Yeah. Very nice.
Is the track in the southwest now strong enough to take all the locos? Because in the old days, the engines were made lighter to go there.
Oh yeah, you can't send a King. I think the only thing you can't send over the Royal Albert Bridge is a King because it's too heavy.
Right. The only thing you can't send over the Royal Albert Bridge is a King because it's too heavy.
I think
How much does that weigh then?
a lot. It's double Red Star.
Is that 150 ton?
To Google.
Oh, here comes Google again. That area in New York City was named to the city of Harlem. And there you go. Well, it's in our neck of the woods, Andy. Still haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I know it's been all over the place.
The loco weighs 90 tons. The tender weighs 47 tons.
So it's 90 tons and 47 tons.
So you're about about 130 tons.
Yeah, 130 ton. So you're getting up to what, a class 40?
Yeah. That's heavier than a Deltic.
Yeah, it's heavier than a Deltic. That's 102 ton.
Yeah.
So, sounds like the Rhine thing with the international train to Germany. Last local owners were told to use St Blaise turntable at your own risk. Oh, that's great, that is. Well, the Kings are now in Buckingham Palace. Yeah, true. It is now fully restored. Yeah, well, while the Flying Scotsman's still in full fettle, they ought to do as much of it and get their money's worth, or get our money's worth, as they can. Because that's where a lot of the money that goes to the National Railway Museum, a lot of the money that they get goes into keeping the Flying Scotsman going. Because it's, I suppose, excuse me, because of its reputation.
It's the money maker.
And it's the money maker. Everybody wants to see it. So they pander to it. And all of their other projects go on the back burner, which I think is a crying shame. I'd rather put the Flying Scotsman in a museum and say, if you want to see it, come to York, this is where it'll be, like the Mallard. And it may get to a stage where that's what they'll do. And then they'll look at some of the other projects they've got, like the Q1, which is, I know it's an ugly duckling, but again, everybody would love to see it.
Do what they did before. Give it to Bluebell.
Yeah, or give it to the Bluebell line and say, yeah, I'll refurbish this.
They overhauled it and they used it.
Yeah, they overhauled it and used it. As soon as I'm better, I'll be filming at St Blaise turntable in the TMD. I'll tell you what, Roger, if you could get some China clay workings, that'd be great. Because I could sit down all day and watch China clay trains. Whether it's down at, what's the joint where it goes out to Nuki? Par. I mean, that seems like a great place to see China clay trains. If you could do some of that, whatever's pulling it, don't mind. Just like China clay. Always have. But all the China clay stuff I've got has got ECC on the side of it. English China clay. Before the French bought it and spoiled it, really. Yeah, but that'd be nice. If you can do some of that. I mean, I'm not in a position to jump on a train every weekend and go down to Cornwall, really. It'd be like you coming up to London every weekend just to sit at King's Cross and watch the trains come in and out. We love it to do, but prohibitively expensive. Another thing about steam engines is that in steam they're alive, not the same when cold. Yes, they are seen to be working. You look at the Britannia's valve gear, everything working in synchronization. They seem to be working. I mean, all you get from diesels is a bit of clag and plenty of noise. It's not quite the same. Yeah, 20 minutes away. Damn it. Beek Bergen and Rotterdam are the only locations with a working turntable in the Netherlands. Right. Okay. Well, that's the same world over, Ivo. Yeah, they were used to point the steam locomotive in the right direction. They could work both ways, but then the driver is inhibited by working backwards. There you go. The only time that doesn't happen is when you've got push-pull services where you've got an extension of the controls from the locomotive into a carriage. Hello, Dragon Lover 68. That's Connie. Hello, Connie. Nice to see you. This is what I look like. Yeah. I'll just give you an idea of what we got today. Forgive the vomit cam. Here we go. Here's the Royal Train. I'll try and point you in the right direction. There we go. That's the Royal Train. Anyway, it's nice to see you, Connie. I gather you're working on something artistic and technical. What you're looking at is you're looking out of the west there. That's the bottom extent of the layout with the cows in the field and the sort of backdrop. You can always tell it's getting a bit wintry because you've got wrinkles in the back scene. Here comes the Royal Train. Hope you find this entertaining. Went to the East Somerset Railway the other week and managed to get on the footplate. Really. And there is the Royal Train. All 10 coaches of it. Footplate of 262 tag. 4110. Nice little railway. Very. It has got a white roof, Robert. You have a look carefully as it comes around. You will see the white roof on the footplate. Oh, the cab. And yes, it has. The other train you just saw in the distance was from a thing called the Longmoor Military Railway, which was a little military railway in, well, I think it was Hampshire. Yes, that's correct, Ivo. It's an 060 United States. There's your white roof, Robert. Unmistakable. The Britannia with digital command control sound. And the Royal Train for King Charles III. King Chaz III. Spring brings the opening and tidying of the garden. It doesn't stop. Yeah, you're right about that. Might have a chance to ride on a train pulled by one in 2 weeks. Oh, that's great, Ivo. Yeah, if you've got the chance, take it. Here comes the Longmore Military Railway. It's a little United States RA tank locomotive with 2 LMR coaches. There are still push-pull now on the railway. They just don't look like they are. Okay. Yeah, I know they're still about, Robert. Hey, there's Lord Owl. We're not worthy, mate. We're not worthy. Have a royal train. All rise. All rise for Lord Allen. Everyone please stand up. God save our gracious owl. Well, thank you for joining us, Alan. Nice to see you. Nice. From the sound of things, I'll be joining you on Friday for your live stream. You should see in a second little USRA dock tank, which is the Longmore Military Railway. Just on your left. Right, left. There you go. And here comes the Brit. That's the Britannia pulling the royal train. I forgot to give me an invite. Friday looking good. Okay, that's great. We want our money back. On a rail jet, it's quite obvious that it's push-pull operation. Yeah, I imagine it probably is. Yeah. Yeah, you have what we call a driving van trailer. Anyway, it's lovely to see you in the house, Connie. This is what the rest of us reprobates do, running our trains and trying to keep ourselves happy. I'll just take you on a little tour. Oops.
There goes the J94.
There goes the J94. Here's a little tour of the layout. There goes the Britannia. As you can see, I've got some working lights. As the train comes through, you'll see the lights go. And there's a Guinness.
Plenty of iron in there.
So as the train goes through, just as it gets past it, it will go to red. Hey, there we go.
Promote my buyers of my favourite tank.
And then as it clears and gets to the next section, the lights will change back to slowly green. There you go. So here we've got the sidings. Here's Richard. Who's damaging himself. That's a machine called a koploper, which is a Dutch electro multiple unit. Nice, really nice. There's a couple of Longmore Military Railway
Pedantics. This one's made by EFE and this one is DJ Models.
Right. And then behind them, they've got various military machines. There's a couple of low loaders with tanks on them. Not everybody's cup of tea, but there you go. There's a couple of latter day spines. If I move over here, there is a schools class, which also does royal train duties.
It's been tarted up.
It's been tarted up to have the white wall wheels. It's also got the cab roof, which comes as standard, but they didn't tart up the wheels. We'll move around to the station area. There is a loco there. Again, Longmore Military Railway, LMR. But I forgot that this one wasn't digital command control, so I had to whip it off the track quick. So that's why it's sitting on the platform. Here is a couple of coal stays. If I just lift that up, it will reveal a contraption underneath for changing the points. I'll just show you as the train comes past. So you see, that's the base unit. Oh, I'm being photobombed. That's the base unit for a Pico point motor. And because right underneath there's a beam that goes right underneath. So I couldn't get the point motor directly under that point there. So I had to move it over there, and then I have a sliding mechanism, and I just hid it under the coal staves. So there's the extent of the station. That's roughly modelled on a station called Corn and Woodhouse. Bachmann made the various buildings for that station, and then I've added at the end several, I think that was 3 kit bashed Great Western bridges, footbridges, and I've bashed it into that contraption there. Plus it marries up with the entrance to the station, which is in resin, that Bachmann also did. If I look right down at the bottom, you can see the oleo pneumatic buffers, except for that one, which has just got a standard buffer head. If I point you around this way, there's Longmore Military. This is the TND area, loosely based on a yard. Let's tilt you that way, that's it. It's loosely based on a network railway yard, of which there are lots and lots dotted all around the country. We've got things like this here, which is double slip, and then lots of points. And there's a little, these lamps here do actually work. If I can flick the switch underneath, there we go. And there's also inside the shed there a little welder welding away on his well, he's doing his stuff really. So that's my sort of effects, if you like. I just thought it was nice to add it in. This little contraption here, that's for picking up tokens on single lines, where you haven't got proper priority and it's only a single line. You can pick up a token that the driver carries and drops off at the signal boxes. Over here, we've got the turntable, and here is Blondie. Blondie. Blondie.
No,
Hey, Blonde.
too concerned with the taps.
There she is. Now she's too content with gnawing on the taps. But that's our little doggy.
Oh.
And right over here is the turntable, and there's a little stabling yard there, and also that's a Bachmann Syncraft signal box. I forgot to bring the other one out because I've been working on the signal box. And then that curls around here. There's another double slip there. This is our little messy work area. Hey, Blonde. And that's our little doggy with a waggy tail. And we're back to this area here. And that's a little stabling yard, shunting yard, whatever you'd like to call it, where we can make the trains up and stuff. Right.
It's just me, does that look like a little too red? It
Yeah.
looks like Emperor of the North.
That's blood.
Yeah, that's. Does this go against terms of service as gore?
Well, Okay, Timber, nice to see you. I'll just show you my arm. This is what having a dog does to your arm. She has got nails like razors. So, yeah. Be in no doubt that I've been in the wars. There we go. Every good channel needs a dog. Blondie! Blonde! Hey, Blonde! Hey, there you are.
Dog tired now.
Dog tired now. Right, let's pop you back on there.
Since this violence, running around, chewing on things, I'm tired. I'm having a sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, she runs herself ragged and then flops down and puts her head on your foot, and that's it, she's gone. Wouldn't it be lovely if we could all do that? Oh, dear. Okay, so who have we got who's still in? It's a puppy, so sharp nails and sharp teeth. The teeth are not too bad. She tends to go easy. But because she hasn't actually been out on the streets yet wearing those little nails down, they're like razors. So one more injection and we'll be able to take her out. Don't seem to be about being the dogs being a poster. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. She is chewing on my German Pico. No chewing the box. Yeah. Look. She just gnawed the corner. Yeah, well, like little doggies and children, everything goes in their mouth. They have to sort of taste it. Peter Shaw, hello. Nice to see you. And Kyle Stevens, hello. If there's anybody I missed, apologies. Running 2 trains today, the Royal train, which you'll see behind you in a second, and the Longmoor Military Railway shunter with a couple of carriages. So, yeah. Yeah, oh, you got a cat fly, mate. Itchy scratches, yeah. Okay, yes, if you haven't already hit the like button, please feel free to do so. It's all very good for the analytics, and the sun's just come out. So, yeah. Right, well, it's just come up 2 o'clock. So, I think I'll probably pull the plug. I want to get a few more bits done. Happy Valley. What's the size of my layout? It is roughly 12 foot by 8 foot. Anyway, it's nice to see you, Edward. Thought I saw a yellow light outside. Yeah, it's a big orange ball in the sky called the sun, which we don't see much of. That's 6 o'clock, yeah, Lee? Okay, it's usually 5, is it not? You give me a black fingernail already. Yeah, Edward, it's roughly 12 foot by 8 foot, but obviously you've got 2 inch, that's the outside measurements, and you've got 2 inch by 2 inch bearers all the way around. So you've got 4 inches less. So you're looking at 11 foot 8 by 7 foot 8. And that's the extent of what you've got. And I've just done as much as I can with it without going over the top. I could try and chew on as much as I want in, but space is depth. And I like a bit of depth. I don't want too many buildings where you can't actually see the trains. If buildings are your kind of thing, that's fine. But I love to be able to sit and see the trains everywhere that they are. There's not really any inclines or anything like that. It's a little wobbly where the boards are just ever so slightly out. But I think you're off for you, Roger. Thanks, Roger, for coming in. As soon as you get better, if you can do any China clay stuff, that'd be just great. Always a pleasure to see you, mate. Yes, so 12 by 8. So that's what you'll be working with eventually. Yeah. Well, Kyle, you do it your way. You've obviously got ideas in your head. Just let them spill. There's all bits and pieces. I know what it was like. It was all disjointed thoughts about, well, I like this bit on that railway. And I used to go here when I was a kid, and that would be great. And there was a level crossing there, and there was a set of trees on one side, and this is where you got your ice cream. And boom, just plan all those bits out on the layout and just let it spill. And that's really what I did. Obviously, you're constrained by size. Oh, I'd love to do this, love to do that. But you just physically can't unless you've got a huge basement or a quadruple size shed. Something on the lines of Sparky 107. If you look at his shed on 3 levels with a great big helix on there, that's the way he decided to do it. And he obviously thought long and hard about what he wanted to do. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the best, Roger. Always great to see you. Cheers, everybody. Yes, it's a pint mug. I didn't want to run out of coffee. So you're currently at 8 by 1.5 and 2 modules. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay, that's good, Edward. Okay, cheers, Chaz. Nice to see you. There's Simon. Hello, Simon. Nice to see you. I've got the Royal Train running today, as you'll see in a second. Britannia is pulling a 10-car Royal Train. So with DCC sound. Yeah, Richard did the synchro on the wheels, so it chuffs properly with the rotation. Okay, well, I'm having someone coming up with a design. Might do my own spin on it. Rule 1 applies. It's your railway. Somebody wants to design it for you. You've got to direct them about what's good and what's bad and what you like, because you're going to be the one that ends up with it. First live I've been all the way through, except my own. So goodbye to all. Super stream, Andy. Well done. Thank you, Robert. Cheers, mate. I'll see you on Friday, if not before, in somebody else's stream. Always great to see you. Great friend of the channel. And what a guy. Robert Valentine. Brilliant. You're just setting up for some cycling. Then at the railway room a little later. Oh, okay. Don't forget to eat in there somewhere, otherwise you'll be sitting there shaking with lack of sugar. So just eat little and often, particularly if you're going to be doing some major exercise. Well, I don't need to tell you, Simon. You know what it's like. But if you eat at the wrong time and then you try it, a lot of exercise, cramp. If you go swimming, that could kill you. Anyone seen the Brunel Gauge Club layout? Don't think I have, Edward. But there's so many on there. What's occurring? What's occurring? Hello, Ben. How lovely to see you. Cheers, buddy. That's a pint mug. Don't want to run out of coffee. That's the Longmoor Military Railway. Just going past there. Push. And coming around in the other direction is the Royal Train, pulled by Britannia 70000, and a 10-car Royal Train. So here she comes. Give her a bit of speed. That's better. I like your style. A pint of coffee is elite level commitment. Here's to you, brother. Well read to be more accurate. Had a nice steak an hour ago with new potatoes, mushrooms, peas. 8.4 kilometres cycle at 4. 6 days 48, that's about 5 miles. Yeah, okay, that's a walk in the park. That should be all right. In more laying track, I even make a video if you remember. Feel free, we'll watch it. Yep, if it's there, we'll gobble it up. Breathing check, pulse check. I have the basics down. Yep. It's the simple things in life you miss first, like breathing, for example. No. Actually, I'd love to do a skit on Charlie Bishop. You know, where he says, this is what we'll be doing today. And you hear the sound of his camera shutter clicking. Hello, welcome to Chadwick Model Railway. I'm Charlie. And then falls off his seat. I might try it. But I don't want to offend Charlie because he's video YouTuber of forever. Yeah, great guy. Really knowledgeable. And one of these people that can point the camera at himself and put it across. Yeah. I'm Charlie. Yeah, I bet he's probably done it himself, where he's just got ready for his live. It's not a live stream, a video, and something's fallen off the wall. Or you've ordered some LU swag for the train room this week. Big fan of the Underground and its history therein. Well, that's interesting because we've got some S stock. If you'd like to see it next week, Ben. And we've also got the EFE 1937 stock. That's the phone then. Robert, you're still here. Yeah, and getting the camera to focus for you at the right time. London Underground swag. Right, got it. Yes. Managed to get in this week. Still fighting the work fight, but trying to make time. And that'll be the phone. Now, you won't hear my phone unless it's emergency. And then it'll be a quick out of the door and off. The Jaco has a viewer too, Ben. Right. So, Ben, if you'd like to see some London Underground stuff, we have got some. I am prepared to run it. Would you like to see it? I'll wait for your answer. I'll have a coffee while I'm waiting. Well, you were finishing. So we need to stay at the end. Yeah, I was finishing, yeah. I thought I was going to wrap it up. But then a few flies, wasps and bees decided they'd join us. That's the other thing I've ordered. I've ordered a fly net for the door. I'm going to put it on some little magnets so I can get under the layout and just brush the magnets aside and it will flick back straight into where it should be. That'd be awesome. I'm off next week too, so that's a go for me. Okay, I'll do that. Richard, I imagine, is probably going to do his own video with Longmore Military Railway on it, and I'll let him do that. I was going to run the Cockloper today because I stripped it down in the week when I looked at the motor, it didn't look as though it had hardly been ever run. When I took the brushes out of it, there was no wear on them hardly at all. The only problem I had with it was when I stripped it right down, if I looked inside one of the brush holes where the brush goes up and down, there was like some kind of furry, like some water had gotten in there and dried and dried and dried and dried, and there was like a crust in there. So I got a little brooch, a little engineering brooch. Brian, there's Brian. Hello, Brian. I got a little engineering brooch and broached that out without destroying the copper or brass or what was there. Made sure it was all nice and clean. Run a pipe cleaner through it. It was that end. So that took off any rubbish that was in there. And I reassembled it, greased it, put some oil where it needed to be. And it's running like a sewing machine. So I got the royal. I know you don't give a hoot for the royalty or anything like that, but I've got the royal train running today. You'll see that over my left shoulder coming up. Now, there's the Britannia with a 10-car royal train. There it is. Like it or love it, you can't ignore it. Did I just go a little dim there? I think the sun's gone in. Anyway, there it is, Brian. And just when that goes past, Brian, you'll see the Longmore Military Railway. I'll get out of the way. Let's come in there. Longmore Military Railway. It's a little USRA dock tank with a couple of LMR coaches. It's really nice stuff. We like unusual gear. The Royal Train itself is unusual. It comes out once in a blue moon. The loco's always got white roofs. The train itself is in like a burgundy wine colour, and things like the Longmore Military Railway. There's not much of it about, so it's quirky. So we like it. Yeah, it's really nice. Just over here behind me, that's another Longmore Military Railway, 280. Excuse me, number 400. But I didn't realise it hasn't got a chip in it, so it's just plain DC. And I put it on the track and I could hear it buzzing, and I thought, oh no, hello Chris. Back after pulling a few plugs. Well, okay. There's my coffee, a pint of it. Cheers, everybody. How long did they have that blue livery? I think it may well have always been a feature. It was sufficiently dark blue to mean that they didn't have to turn the whole thing black during wars. So I think it was just always that colour, which is like it's like a very. It's almost difficult to see what kind of blue that is. It's almost like an electric blue. Nearly picked up a 280 in a presentation box a while back, went for huge money in the end though. Sometimes you do get lucky on things like eBay, particularly if the person that put it up there spells one letter wrong in the title. You have to be pretty cute to spot it, but it can mean that 10 people watch it or nobody watches it. And if you put in a bid and the thing elapses, that's it, you've got it. You want to have one of the Dutch Railway Museum, which is dark green. Okay. Right. Yeah, well, I think they made the USRA tanks to go just about anywhere during a wartime. Oh, okay, Edward. Cheers. Thanks for coming in. Nice to see you, Chris. Right, I've been going for an hour and a half, and I'm definitely going to cut it short there and go and get something to eat. I've got some mackerel in yonder fridge. I'm going to get the George Foreman out. I'm going to fry those up, grill them up, and eat those. So I'm off for a spot of afternoon brunch. Thanks everybody for coming in. You're always searching for Horny or Hornsby. Yes. Or something like Hornby with two B's, or where they've missed the Y, or something like that. You're right, Brian. That is the way to do it, because you can get something that's quite exquisite. Nobody else sees it. You put in your bed, you got it. Thanks everybody for coming in. Yeah, it's been an enjoyable day. Even though I'm wearing the jumper, it's getting sufficiently warm that it's comfortable in the shed. Thank you all for your company. Yeah, it's really enjoyable. Sunday wouldn't be quite the same without you. So, with that said, everybody have a really great week. I'll say Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains. And yeah, thank you, Robert, for reminding me. I'll see you in the streams in the week, and thanks very much for your company. Adios, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.